All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television show in the history of the world. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Ashes of Man by Christopher Ruocchio. That's right, Ruocchio. This is book number 5 in his Sun Eater series, which I have all of the books here. So we're going to be reviewing this. Yeah, we're going to be reviewing a lot of stuff here. Let's talk about the covers first. You know I love graphic design and cover illustration, so let's get straight to it. This is a great cover by an artist named Kieran Yanel. I should probably look that up. I don't want to mess this name up. It is Kieran Yanner. I still might have messed it up. Anyway, it's a great cover. Let's give Daw Books, who publishes Christopher Ruocchio's series, a kudos for always putting together spectacular covers on these books. They're nicely packaged. As you can see here, each one of these books has a great cover from book 1 to book 2 to book 3 to book 4 down to book 5. They all look great. And then if we turn them sideways so they're spine out and we put them all together on the shelf, they match real nice. So that's cool. So we get an A+ from the publisher for doing the right thing and packaging this wonderful series in all the right ways. Now, I've met Christopher Ruocchio several times, probably half a dozen times at different Comic Cons, and we've hung out, had dinner together, signed books together at tables. I consider the man a friend. In fact, he's signed most of my books. I think he signed all of them. I think every single one of them has been signed by him. Well, except for this one, because it just came out. Anyway, let's talk about this. Now, when I sit at Comic-Con conventions with Christopher and he's describing his book, he always uses this phrase. This series is about a character, and he says, imagine if Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader for all the right reasons was a good thing, or something like that. I know I butchered up that pitch. That elevator pitch, I just up royally. But it's something like that. That's what he says. Like, imagine if Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader had been a good thing, or he did it for all the right reasons. I just rehashed my crappy. He does it better, I swear to God. That's what this series is about. It's kind of like an exiled young prince who is self-exiled out into the universe, this vast galaxy. This is a galactic fantasy. The prose that Christopher Ruocchio brings to the table is second to none. I compare it often to Frank Herbert and Dune. If you love Frank Herbert and the Dune series and the way that that's written, you're going to love this. This dude is brilliant. I mean, he writes effortlessly. It's almost as if the guy is a genius. He's a young genius, and he's a young science fiction writer, so he's going to be around for a long time, writing us great books. Anyway, Hadrian Marlowe, the main character, is this exiled prince, and he goes off into the universe and has many harrowing adventures through the first 4 books. So now we get to book 5, and I don't want to spoil much, so I'll just mention generalities and then gush about how awesome this series is. So the galaxy is burning. The Sealson, who are our main antagonist alien enemies of the galaxy, they are now all united under one banner. The Solan Empire stands alone. There's been a lot of betrayal back and forth between different galactic empires, lots of adventures, and the Selsun King now has sent his armies out to conquer and destroy the rest of the worlds of men. So things in the galaxy look dire. Plus, rumors are that Hadrian Marlowe, sort of our hero of the story, has now been killed. And what do we do? What do we do? Well, turns out Hadrian wasn't killed. I mean, you'll find out all of those adventures if you read the first 4 books. He's survived, and he survived with the help of Valka, who is a witch, and they have a great relationship. My most favorite part of all of this series is the interactions between Hadrian and Valka. I like those characters, how they bounce off of each other. And I won't get into the nature of their relationship other than it's just a fun relationship to read about. And it carries this book forward from the very beginning in a lot of very interesting ways. So it's a galaxy-spanning space opera adventure / fantasy novel. I call it galactic fantasy. I think I think Christopher calls it science fiction fantasy. I don't know what he calls it. I shouldn't speak for him at all. Anyway, one of the cool things about the series, and it's right up front in this book, was kind of hinted at throughout, but our enemy, the Sealson, the antagonists of the whole story, they worship some gods. Turns out the gods that the bad guys worship are actually real. Which is frightening, right? I mean, nobody wants that. Everybody that's part of a religion, they think that who they really worship is real. What if your enemies worshipped an evil god, and then you find out that that's really the truth of things? It'd probably put a bummer on your day. Anyway, that's what happens in his. Anyway, great science fiction series. One of my top 5, I think, when I ranked my favorite science fiction series. I know this landed in the top 10, if not the top 5. It's just absolutely delightful. And everybody who loves space opera, who loves Dune, who loves Star Wars, who loves Battlestar Galactica or The Expanse, or any hard science fiction novel, if you love reading in general, you're going to like these books. I give this a 10 out of 10. It's just a spectacular book in a spectacular series. And there you have it, folks.